Hello and welcome to AfriFreedomChannel, your home for bold perspectives, uncensored global analysis, and the stories that mainstream media would rather you ignore. If you're passionate about sovereignty, truth, and economic justice, you're in the right place. Before we dive in, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. It helps amplify our message and ensures you never miss critical updates like this one. We also encourage you to engage actively with this video by dropping your thoughts respectfully in the comment section. We value your voice, let it be heard. The views expressed in this video are for informational and educational purposes only. AfriFreedomChannel does not advocate for violence or the spread of misinformation. Always verify facts independently and form your own informed opinion. This content is protected under fair use for commentary and critique. France currently holds the fourth largest gold reserves in the world, yet there is not a single major gold mine operating on French soil.
We are telling you that France does not have a drop of gold in their soil, and they have the fourth largest. Do you understand what that means? The reserve, fourth largest in the world. You see nations in Europe that don't have anything, but you go and see how much they have. It's beyond, it boggles the mind. But the nations that produce and milk, they have nothing. Can you believe that? It's just recently that Russia partnered with Mali to build a gold refinery in Mali. Can you imagine, Garland? The home of gold in Africa. It's just getting a gold refinery. Ibrahim Traore just recently also began to push for that, and they're now looking for nuclear. You can imagine people who own uranium don't have any nuclear powered plants. There's no light, nothing. But they are sending the uranium to Europe where they use it to generate power, generate electricity. But they sleep in darkness every single day of their life. The seventh largest uranium producer in the world has no light, no electricity. No. For how long will this injustice go on? Africa that is so rich in uranium, Namibia. And you see Germany. Then who else do you see? You see Britain, the second largest holder, if not the largest holder of colonies. No, is the largest holder of colonies in Africa, followed by France. Can you see the people who are at the forefront pushing? We need to go to war, go to war. Don't forget about peace, peace, peace. But look at Hungary, look at Slovakia, look at these other guys. They don't own any colony anywhere. But the guys who are rattled and unsettled by the whole war, that want to really go to war, want Ukraine to keep Russia busy on the battlefield, are the colonials, the holders of colonial territories in Africa. You know why? Because if peace comes between Russia and Ukraine, Russia will have so much peace that their military will not be sent to go to any war, and more than half of that military will be sent to parts of Africa to help secure potential revolutionaries that are coming. The best way to distract Russia is to keep them busy at the battlefront, to weaken their military. When you hear them say that, you don't know why they're saying that. They're saying it because of Africa. We are telling you that France does not have a drop of gold in their soil, and they have the fourth largest. Do you understand what that means? The reserve, fourth largest in the world. You see nations.
How does this happen? The answer, as always, leads us back to Africa. Former French colonies across West Africa, countries like Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, are rich in gold. Yet the gold is exported through multinational companies, often backed or protected by French financial institutions and political influence. France has maintained a long-standing system of neocolonial economic control, including the CFA franc currency system, which has historically ensured that African countries' natural wealth flows back to the French treasury. What does it say about global justice when the nations extracting wealth from African soil are among the wealthiest, while the source nations remain impoverished, destabilized, and indebted? Do we really believe Africa is poor, or are we witnessing a deliberate system of wealth extraction and dependency? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Should African nations cut off all colonial-era economic ties once and for all? Recently, the UK's Prime Minister Keir Starmer announced that the country is moving into warfighting readiness against Russia. That's not a...
And today, following through on this review, I want to set out 3 fundamental changes that we're going to deliver. First, we are moving to warfighting readiness as the central purpose of our armed forces. When we are being directly threatened by states with advanced military forces, the most effective way to deter them is to be ready. And frankly, to show them that we're ready, to deliver peace through strength. Now, Britain has the finest servicemen and women in the world. We're showing them the respect that they deserve by delivering the biggest armed forces pay rise in 20 years, and by pledging today that we will end the hollowing out of our armed forces. We'll build a fighting force that is more integrated, more ready, more lethal than ever, backed by a stronger strategic reserve, fully trained and ready to mobilise at any time. Second, everything we do will add to the strength of NATO. As we step up to take greater responsibility for our collective defence, the NATO alliance means something profound: that we will never fight alone. It is a fundamental source of our strategic strength. That's why our defence policy will always be NATO first, something that's written through this review. The transformation we are driving in our defence must add up to Britain's biggest contribution to NATO since its creation, so that when we're building new capabilities at home, we are making our allies safer too, strengthening Europe and strengthening our bridge to the US as Britain's first partner in defence. Third, we will innovate and accelerate innovation at a wartime pace, so we can meet the threats of today and of tomorrow as the fastest innovator in NATO. Now, this doesn't mean replacing people or hardware. Quite the opposite. It means learning the lessons of Ukraine, which I've discussed many times with President Zelensky, to ensure that every capability we have works seamlessly together. Drones, destroyers, AI, aircraft, each different branch of our armed services fully integrated to create an army which is 10 times more lethal by 2035. And in delivering all of this, we are more ambitious than ever for the change it can bring. To deliver not just security for our country, but renewal too. After the Cold War, many nations cut defence spending, freeing up public funds, creating what was called a peace dividend, which people felt in their public services and in the quality of their lives. Faced with new circumstances today, we must deliver for working people again, to seize now a defence dividend for the British people, using this moment to drive jobs and investment throughout the country, like here in Govan, providing local opportunities, skilled work, community pride, ensuring that everyone across the United Kingdom has a role to play in this effort, yes, but also that everyone has a stake in its success. And I want to spell this out very simply. To achieve this, we're going to build, we're going to use this investment and this once-in-a-generation reform to drive renewal up and down the nation, creating new jobs, creating skills and opportunity, driving huge growth.
Drill, that's a declaration. While the media plays it down, this signals that Europe is not just watching the war in Ukraine, it's preparing to expand it. But what does this have to do with Africa? Historically, when European powers gear up for war, they often rely on their former colonies for manpower, resources, and proxy battlegrounds. World War I and II saw millions of African soldiers drafted into foreign wars they had no stake in. Today, with NATO's increasing presence across the Sahel and AFRICOM's silent expansion, is Africa once again being positioned as a strategic pawn? Will young Africans be asked, or forced, to fight wars for empires that continue to plunder the continent's resources? If the UK is preparing for war, what consequences will that bring to the fragile peace, sovereignty, and stability in Africa? We want to hear from you. Should African nations declare non-alignment in global conflicts to avoid being caught in the crossfire? Let us know in the comments. What we are witnessing is not isolated news, it is the continuation of a centuries-old pattern. A pattern where Africa remains the world's most resource-rich continent, yet also the most exploited. Where global powers make moves on the chessboard, and the global south pays the price. But it doesn't have to remain this way. Africa has the people, the knowledge, and the will to change its destiny. But change begins with awareness, and awareness starts with conversations like the one we are having right here on AfriFreedomChannel. So once again, we ask you, are we witnessing the signs of a new world order, one where Africa can finally rise, or one where it remains shackled by the ambitions of others? Thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss when we drop hard-hitting truths like this. And most importantly, join the conversation below. Your voice matters more now than ever. Until next time, stay alert, stay informed, and stay free. This is AfriFreedomChannel, unmasking the system, empowering the people.